Hello, everyone, and welcome to my live. I am Coach Sherry, and this is my live as a practice for strength and conditioning my mindset. It is so important before you have anything major going on is to understand what you will need. What are some of the things that will help make you even that much more successful. And so I know that with my upcoming presentation that I needed to practice going live and talking for an hour at 7:30 p.m. because my presentation is going to be at 3:30 p.m., but it's not on Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be on the West Coast. And I just wanted to make sure that I strengthen and condition my stamina, my mindset, so that. I just wanted to make sure that I'm trying to I'm trying to see what's going on because I can't read the chat from this far away. So I have it on my phone in case anyone decides to enter the room and join me in conversation. So I am Coach Sherry, and this channel is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, real life, real issues, and real talk. And I will be going live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the next few evenings just to kind of get my sea legs back. The one thing about this presentation is that I will not be able to ask the audience questions throughout. I typically like to present and have it very interactive because I really feed off of my audience's energy. Just like when people go live here on YouTube, they really feed off of the energy that people give them because it's a give and take, it's an interaction, it's a conversation. And so I am going to miss that part during the presentation. I do have time at the end where I will open it up for questions. I definitely will encourage my participants, the audience, to write down questions that they have throughout because I will be covering quite a bit of information and material. But at any rate, just to give you a little bit of background of me as well, I am a workforce development professional, and I am also a certified coach. I am a certified abundance intelligence coach as well as emotional intelligence. I haven't used emotional intelligence in many, many years, but abundance intelligence, although I haven't done it in a group setting in a while, I do lace it throughout all the things that I do regarding workforce development. Because one thing that I did find is that the main thing that gets in a person's way from really achieving their success and their goal is them. They get in their way. And when I realized that after coaching people in business, coaching people in marketing, and they still were having these barriers, and it was challenging to get them to break through it, to stop starting and stopping, but to start and continue. I recognized that it wasn't the processes that they were implementing. Oftentimes it was them. And so when I realized that, I found some coaching strategies, some programs that had some really good coaching strategies that taught me and certified me to do that type of coaching that could help them overcome those barriers and jump over those hurdles. And those breakthroughs have been tremendous. Another thing that I really wanted to talk about this evening mainly is about caregiving and caretaking. So, there are a lot of caregivers out there, caretakers. I call it caregiving. When I cared for my mother, I considered myself a caregiver because I was giving care to my loved one. I know some people call it caretaking because they are taking care of a loved one or even a patient, but I refer to it as caregiving. And when you are caregiving for someone, especially when you're really trying to make their quality of life, you're trying to enrich their quality of life, you're trying to ensure um, that they are as comfortable as possible. They may have some challenges with their bodies, with their minds. Physically, they may be declining. They may have a dis-ease, is what I call it. And that's from Louise Hay. If you're not familiar with Louise Hay, she has a book that's called How to Heal Your Life. And she beat cancer, and she actually lived to be well into her 90s. She recently passed not too long ago. But at any rate, when someone has a dis-ease, then they're not comfortable, and sometimes, and you have to do a lot as a caregiver or a caretaker. And especially if it's a loved one, someone that may have raised you, like your parent, a person that gave life to you and took care of you from being a baby to an adult, and now the tables have turned, and now you are their caregiver. And those types of relationships or those types of situations can be very challenging. But I know most caregivers and most caretakers, especially of a loved one, they do it with honor. It is their pleasure. When I cared for my mother, it was my pleasure to care for her and do my best, because I know all my life she did her best in caring for me. I wish I could turn this light down. Hold on. I can't. Oh my goodness. But anyway, yeah, so she did her best to care for me. So I wanted to definitely do my best to care for her. One thing that most people don't consider is, if the person that you're caring for, unfortunately, if they pass away, and all along you've been caring from them every day, you stopped your world, you couldn't continue to do the things that you were accustomed to doing, how you did them, your time definitely was not your own. You might have had sleepless nights, or those nights when you're sleeping basically was with one eye open and one eye closed, because you're just listening out for them. And when that is the situation, then it's hard to, really claim a good night's rest. And when the person is no longer here in the body, on earth, a lot of people just think, oh, the caregiver, the caretaker can just do business as usual. They can just go back to the way they were living before. They don't have to worry about taking care of mama or dad or brother, sister, auntie, whoever. They could just go on now and do what they want to do, and everything is all good. But that's not always the case. Sometimes you may have cared for someone for so long, you don't even know where to start, what step to take. You're so used to considering someone else on a daily basis, until it becomes really challenging to only have to worry and care about yourself. So I really want to encourage all of you that may know someone who is giving care to a loved one, especially to a loved one when it's not their job. That's not what they went to school for. That's not what they were trained for. But it's just a loved one, and they were the one that was selected. That was their assignment. Um, Consider them. If you have a moment and you might want to check in on them, ask them, do they have anything that you can do for them? Maybe it's just sitting with their loved one, not providing care, but just sitting with them so that they can maybe run an errand or do something around the house really quickly without having to worry about, if the person they're caring for is alone and in danger. So you really want to, I encourage you to look in on the caregivers. When their loved one is no longer here, don't just look after them or go to them at the funeral. Check in on them periodically, even afterwards. Make sure that they are okay, because, you know, um, like I said, people think it's so easy to get back into the rhythm of the things, to get back into your life. And it's not, it's really not that easy. I remember people always thought, oh, okay, now you cared for your mother, and now that she's gone, what are you going to do now? I mean, I definitely all along tried to keep busy doing something for myself, just trying to get pockets of it here and there. But I hadn't had that kind of time to myself in so long. I didn't know how I was going to maneuver, how I was going to navigate. And it didn't feel like people really thought we deserved to have that time to kind of process what just happened. You sometimes when you become a caregiver, it's not like you sign up for it. You know, it's not like you say, yeah, when the time comes, I want to be that one. Sometimes it just so happened that you were walking by and they pulled you in, and next thing you know, your whole world is changed, and you know, you're in a whole nother state of mind, state of being, and that's what happens. So, you know, you definitely need to let that person be able to process things. Don't be so quick to ask them what's next. What are you going to do? You know, because that's really not fair. It's definitely not fair to them emotionally. You know, a lot of caregivers, their grief is different. You know, it doesn't really hit them like it hits everyone else because um they are with that person, and so the grief has been kind of all along. But then too, they are in denial in a lot of instances because they might think, you know, they're going to get better, they're going to beat this time, you know. I'm have a lot of time with them, they're not going to leave just yet. And that does not always happen, and when it does, they're really really surprised, like, wow, I know I was. And the crazy thing is, you know, my mom, she hadn't been able to walk for nearly a year, after a year before she passed away. And even when she did walk, for probably a year before she stopped being able to walk, her walking was very unsteady. You know, she had to have a walker. I had to walk right there with her. She had to sit down periodically, no long distances. You know, she didn't walk outside. I rode, you know, used the wheelchair to take her around and everything. But and then when she couldn't walk anymore, you know, we got the best wheelchair we could find. It was amazing. I mean, it was like a car. You know, it even had a remote control. So if she when her hands got too weak for her to actually use, you know, to maneuver it herself, I was able to do it from a distance. And let me see. Hello, Wellness with Frugal Mama. Hello, how are you? Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the live. I am just doing this live. I'm actually trying to build up my stamina to be up this late in the evening and talk for an hour. I'm getting ready, preparing myself for a presentation, and I'm going to be in a different time zone. And unfortunately, I picked a time zone where I'm going to speak at 7:30 p.m. And typically 7:30 p.m. I am breaking it all the way down. So I said, you know what? You got to practice how you want to play. So I want to be energetic. And I know right now I'm not, but it was a long day. It was a hot day. And I did a lot. And then I went outside and walked. I probably shouldn't have because it was so warm. And, you know, sometimes when you go outside and you walk around and everything, you get warm, then you get sleepy and just a whole lot of things. So, but I know that it's important for me to really be energetic. So, whoever's in the chat or whoever is checking out this live, if you don't mind, you know, just saying a couple of things in the chat just to keep things rolling. You know, I know that when I do my presentation, I'm going to be there in person. I'm actually going to see the participants. And so, just seeing the faces is going to give me that life, that energy. And I hope that they aren't all from the East Coast too, because that come to see me, or Eastern Standard Time, because then they might be a little on the sleepy side, you know, going towards the end of their day as well. But at any rate, I know it's going to turn out, you know, God has brought me to it. I know He's going to get me through it. I'm super, super duper excited about it. But I do understand the importance of practice. So I have been practicing my presentation. You know, I even printed out my slides, wrote down my notes so I could just periodically review them. You know, my PowerPoint is really sharp. I'm very proud of it, and I've already presented it for the virtual participants because not everyone is going to be live, and so they asked all the presenters to pre-record their presentations so that the people that are going to look at it virtually can look at it. And it's actually pretty brilliant. You know, I don't know how many of you put together conferences, but I have definitely attended some conferences where it was a live and a virtual kind of mixture. But with the virtual piece, they actually would be filming it while the live is happening. So the participants are seeing it from home or from their office or from wherever they are in real time, just like the people that were there live. But with this conference, it's going to be thousands of people there, and they have so many presenters every day. It's going to be about 4 to 5 different breakout sessions where, they have those 1 hour presentations like the one that I'm doing. So for them to have to try and film each and every one of the presenters on a daily basis would be tremendous. I couldn't even imagine. So I think that by them having us pre-record and then just having it as kind of like a menu option for the participants, I think that's so brilliant. So I'm going to let the organizers know that. So if any of you are out there and you are putting together a conference, I highly recommend to do it that way. Have your presenters pre-record, send you the upload the recording to you, and then you can make it available for the people that are looking or coming virtually. But at any rate, I was just talking about caregivers and caretakers and the importance of people following up and checking in on them and making sure that they are okay. So when I was saying with my mother, she hadn't walked really like a steady walk for, I want to say, possibly close to 2 years, where it was with confidence. She didn't have to have any type of assistance or anything like that. And even though, she was really restricted to a wheelchair for a full year, um, I never looked at her as handicapped at all. And it was interesting when I had taken her to the hospital one day and someone referred to her as that. And I was just like, she's not handicapped. Like, what are you talking about? So, caregivers, caretakers, they really view the person, especially the person that they love, they view them so differently. It's almost like shallow Hal, you do not see them as the person that they become because you love them so much and you're with them every day all day until you almost don't even see how they are progressing. So it's you see them almost the way that they have always been. And so when the end comes, it's a shock. um it hurts, but it doesn't hurt as much as it's a shock. Like, but wait, tomorrow I was supposed to take you to the doctors, or we were going to go for a ride and I was going to show you. That's why it's so important. And I was just talking to someone today about this. It's so important when you have an idea, or you think about someone, you need to take action with that. You need to call them up. You need to go visit them. You need to do whatever you want to do with that person while you are thinking about it. Don't think about it, put it on the shelf and never get to it. That's why now when I am thinking of someone, I call them. I call them just to say hello. And I believe I made a video on that already where calling people is almost like it's so odd, and they are like, what's wrong, hello, what's going on. Nothing, I just want to call and say hi and see how you're doing. We've gotten away from that because of C19 and with texting, and people are just so low touch. But people really are craving high touch because when people do gather, it is wonderful. That's why when people have like Zoom meetings or, like get togethers, not meetings for business, but just personal Zoom meetings, people are so excited, and that's what we're really missing. And I hope that people can start getting back together safely. I know that C19 is still here and it's doing some different things right now. As a matter of fact, I mean, I just met someone on Saturday and he said that his cousin, one of his cousins, just passed away about 4 months ago, which was, really shocking to his family. So that was, I hadn't heard anyone passing from C19 in a long time. I see Table Talk with Cindy B is in the building. Come get this commentary. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm looking down at my phone because I can't read the chat from this distance and I don't have my contacts in. So please forgive me. I see Table Talk with Cindy B is saying hello. And oh, did you change the name of your channel? Believe it or not, I'm super shy. It's hard for me to speak in a live or before a sea of faces, but I'm okay with making a video for YouTube. I'm here to support silently. Thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Yes, I agree. I do that often. I love talking and video chatting versus texting whenever possible. That's from Come Get This Commentary and saying hello. Thank you for being here. Welcome to the team. It is nice to meet you as well. And I encourage you, as you are in this chat, please look up the channels that are also here and connect with them. This is what this is all about. This is networking right here. If you are new and you are new to this team, welcome so much. Welcome to my channel. I am Coach Sherry. I've been on YouTube for many, many years, growing slowly but surely. I do say that the subscribers that I have are true and blue, and I appreciate them. They really rock with me. My channel is about workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, real life, real issues, and real talk. I do also do vlogs. So I live in Charlotte, North Carolina, and I am all over the place. But I don't just vlog here in Charlotte. I do travel quite a bit personally and professionally, and I love taking people along with me because not everyone has the opportunity to see everything or go everywhere. And I look at my vlogs as an opportunity, no matter where you are in the world, that you will be able to experience what I see through my point of view, and I hope that you enjoy them. And yes, so Table Talk with Cindy B. I like that. I like that name, that channel name. So she really jump started this for me. Like y'all, whew, I was just, coming home, getting ready to kick back and everything. And I was just so pleasantly surprised at the channel shout out that she gave to me a couple of nights ago. And I really appreciate it. And thank you from the bottom of my heart. I am dead serious. That was really, really something special. I really appreciate that. There are quite a few channels that do that type of thing. And I really think that is such an authentic way to really show someone that you are watching them, that you believe in what they're doing, and that you are there to support. And I've always really marveled at channels that do it. I know Carter's Eats, she does it and she just laces the channels in her conversations, and she just does it so naturally. It's a really cool thing. There's some people that do it as a panel style where they have almost like an assignment, and on a weekly basis, or I'm not sure how often during the week, they'll get together and they will review channels and then they will talk about them as a group. And I know the four people that I'm thinking about is Boss Life Online, Pandy's Hair Candy and More, Be Amazing Sylvia, and Marlene Motivates. And they do those types of channel reviews, which is really cool. Vern's Junk Closet, she does channel reviews as well. She has a whole squad of people. She is the YouTube cheerleader, and she's always, very excited to support other channels to grow. And that's what this is all about. It's about networking and growing. We all have something of value to give. I love hearing people share their stories. I love hearing people doing reviews on different things. It could be people, places, and things. It's just a matter of what catches their eye on that day. And that's the beauty of YouTube. That's why it's interesting to me when a person may not like certain videos and then just say, I'm not going to be subscribed to them anymore. But then there might be another video down the line, down the road somewhere that they do like. It's like a channel. ABC, NBC, BET, all those stations, they don't play the same exact show, but you don't cancel it. Hulu, Netflix, all those stations, they don't have just one genre of movies or TV shows. They have multiple ones, and you don't cancel the app. You keep it, and then the ones that you want to see, you check out those, and the ones you don't, you don't. And that's just how YouTube channels are. That's what I feel. I mean, there are some YouTubers, which is great because this is attraction marketing at its best when you specifically know what your channel is going to be about, and those are the videos you do, period, and that's it. You know, some people are gamers, so their channel is just strictly gaming. Some people are mukbangers, so all they do is eat. Some people are hauls, they do shopping hauls, so that's all their channel is. There's a lot of channels that are very, very specific like that. And I thought this channel was going to be specific like that too. But I am so much more than just who I am as a professional and what I can give. And I want to show that side of me too. I think that just makes me that whole person. And so maybe you don't have to change the channel off of my videos, but if you do, then I understand that too, because not everything is for everyone. And I'm not sure how many YouTubers are content creators in terms of, they have video and everything out there, but the last I read, it's about 2.3 billion people on a daily basis that come on this platform to look at videos. I know someone that is about to move to South Africa, and he just told me today. He said, "You know what? I think I'm gonna start a YouTube channel when I move." And I think that's a brilliant idea, because he's about to do some big things over in South Africa. I'm excited for him. This is going to be, a change of life. He, his wife, and mother are moving there. He bought a beautiful, beautiful home, and he's going to do some great things around workforce development. So I'm excited to see what this move is going to do for him. I could promise you for sure that tomorrow, this light right here that's in front of me, that's making me shine like fine wine, is definitely going to be turned down. Oh, I haven't had to do a setup or anything in so long. And wow, doing a live on this side has been a long time. I still have my chair. The chair is not going anywhere. We actually have two of them, and they're very comfortable. I love it. The other one is just right over there, a little ways down, but I love it. It's comfortable. And this is where I typically would do my lives. I did do my live in my car on Saturday, was it? And that might have been the first time I've ever done a live in the car. But typically, a year ago, when I would do lives, I would do them from this chair, and I would do interviews. And I may start that back, but I did want to do interviews in a different way, and I still probably will. It's just, that would take a lot of planning the way that I want to do it, because I still want to do it around business. I want to do it around sports. I want to do it, to give you some encouragement, to let you see how other people are doing things that you may be interested in, and they can give you some nuggets of how they got started, why they decided to go that route. There's so many interesting stories out there of what people are doing and why they're doing it, and I really think that bringing it on this platform is very powerful. With those lives, you're able to ask the people questions. I just want to make sure that they are scaled down a little bit, because my lives, and that, I think that might be one of the reasons why I took a year off from this channel, but it's just one of many reasons why I took a break from this channel. But doing those lives, for me, when I would do those interviews, I would prepare questions. I knew the people I was already going to interview, but I wanted to research more about what they're doing, what's coming up for them, so that I can create a list of questions. I would provide them with the questions prior to the interview so that they wouldn't have any surprises, because there's nothing worse. I don't know if you've been interviewed before, but there's nothing worse than getting on the interview and they just throw some wrenches, crazy questions to you. There's nothing like that. And so I never wanted to do that to any of my guests. Prior to coming on YouTube, in terms of doing interviews, I was part of a sports blog show, and it was called Talk to Me Sports Radio, and I loved it. I really loved it. First of all, I was honored that they selected me to be one of the hosts. Out the blue, these guys contacted me and they said, "Would you be interested in, having a show?" And I was like, "Yeah." I didn't know what it would be on. I just said yes. I don't follow sports that much, so my son actually was my content producer, so he would keep me abreast of who was doing what. But it got challenging with the basketball season, because I couldn't hardly pronounce the names. It's people from all over. I couldn't hardly pronounce the names. So I would just say to him, "What is the number? What are their numbers? Because I can't keep up with the names." And so what I ended up doing, and this is kind of how I crafted my show to be different, instead of talking about games and commenting on what the players were doing, I talked about life after sports. So my show was called Real Talk with Coach Sherry, and I would have athletes, former athletes, come onto the show. I would have them, talk about their professional career and what they were doing after their career. I had people who were coaches come on. I had referees. Refereeing is a great career if you love sports, but you never really were able to or wanted to take it to that next level. That is next level. Some referees make $200,000, $300,000 a year, and they don't even work 12 months out of the year. They work maybe 8 to 10 months out of the year. They're flying to different states, and it's a really exciting profession. But yeah, so I had all different types of really interesting people around sports, women, men, everything. Talked to former collegiate players, former NFL, former players that played overseas, just a lot, basketball players, all kinds. And it was well received. But the thing is, when you are on that type of platform, you have a standard time slot. And then we had sponsors. So I would have to, my show was an hour long, and I would have to fit in the sponsors' commercials. The sponsors would make commercials that we would have to insert. So when you are monetized here on YouTube, the I guess the sponsors or whatever, they you can insert commercials into your channel, into your videos. I'm not monetized yet, but I know that, I hear different YouTubers talk about how they have to, plan out their commercials or whatever, or I don't know what you would call it, but you all know what I mean. And so for my blog radio show, I had to do the same thing. I had to, in the very beginning of the show, I had to make sure that I put in the word from our sponsor, but I had to do it. I had to like take a pause. It was a whole dashboard, and I would have to really maneuver through it. I had music, I had theme music, I had we had a DJ or whatever, and they asked me what music did I want as my intro. My intro was This Girl's on Fire by Alicia Keys. I love that song. Oh my goodness. And the way that he mixed it was awesome. So that was my theme song. We also had claps. So if the guest said something really, really good or clever or whatever, something real strong, I would always do the claps. I had the keys for that. I had callers that were able to call in, so I had to manage that. I had to see the numbers, and it was a lot for 1 hour. And so by the time the hour came up, we I don't want to say we were just getting started, but it was just starting to roll, and it would be like, man, it's over already. And so that was the challenge too. So I would always have to have my guests on again. I would always say, we got to come back for part two, part three sometimes, and just to really get everything out that you wanted to say. And then another thing that started to happen, because my time slot was about 9 o'clock on Sunday nights. Now, this is back in the day, not too long ago, but it was, a few years ago when I was able to hang out a little bit and stay up longer than 7:30. But so yeah, my time slot was 9 o'clock, and my kids played travel ball. So sometimes on the weekends, we barely would get home by 9 o'clock. And there, you couldn't, for that show, I couldn't do it on my phone or on my iPad. I had to do it on my laptop, because I had to have the whole dashboard available for me to maneuver it. So I was always rushing, like, oh my goodness, I got to get home so that I could do my show. My show's about to start, and especially if I had a guest on it, because I wouldn't want to leave them hanging. And then one time I had the opportunity to interview, I think he was either a coach or a scout from Estonia, which is right outside of Russia, Estonia. And he couldn't do it the night of my show because their time difference is ridiculous from ours. So I was like, okay, maybe I can switch with someone and do it on Monday. And so that was a whole situation. But then I also had to make sure the time was right. So I had to do his interview at like 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon on that Monday. But it was so many moving pieces. And so I was already looking at YouTube, and um I started noticing people doing more like interview type podcasty kind of shows and everything. And I was like, huh, that's very similar to what I do, but it seems like they have more flexibility because you don't have to be, bogged down by a particular time. You might say, I'm going to go live every Tuesday and Thursday, or, every Friday, or, whatever, but you don't have to really stick to that time. Although it's good because when your audience, your subscribers, they know, like, I can bet on that, Coach Sherry's going to be on at this time, and I'll be there to support her. So that part of it works. But if you can't make it, you can't make it. It's not the end of the world. You don't have a whole bunch of other hosts that may have wanted your time slot, and they need someone to be on that time slot. That's all I know. So if you can't be on it, you would have to get someone. It was just a lot. So I was like, maybe I should try YouTube. That way I can put out my content whenever I want, whenever I can, and still do it the way that I was doing it in terms of the information, and let's see how that goes. And so that's what I started to do. And then I started going live, and I promise you, oh my goodness, when I first went live, it was a situation because I was so nervous. It's such a difference for some reason doing a pre-record and a live. I can't describe what the difference is, but it's a big difference. And but the thing is, the tribe that I was in, and I'm still in that tribe, they're still very supportive. They all were like, you could do it, Coach Sherry. Some of them, I would go into their lives and they would invite me up to come and, just to kind of say, like, I'm here with you. You're not here by yourself. And it was really good. And I appreciate every last one of them. But I still needed to do it by myself. And when I finally did, it was fun. It was exhilarating. I was much better than I am right now, I think. But yeah, it was exhilarating. And whew, um I started doing it more scheduled. So my time slot, I changed it to Fridays. I started going live every Friday, I think around 6 or 7 p.m. I can't remember the exact time. And it worked out pretty good until like basketball season, when they have those Friday night games, or friends might want to go out and hang out Friday evenings, or we have company coming in town. Like, it was always something, it seemed. And I was like, this time slot is not working for me anymore. And I started feeling like the blog radio show again, even though I was by myself and I didn't have to do it at that time. But I felt committed because I already put it out there that this is the time I was going live. And, one thing led to another, and I ended up not going live anymore. It was just a lot going on in 2021, y'all. A lot. It was a great year, a great year. It was a year of, I want to say, transformation to certain extent. It was a really good year. Yeah, it was a year that I did a lot of self-care. I want to say I did a lot of self-care in 2021. Dr. Renee, who is one of the guests that I actually had on as a live guest, she is a chiropractor, and she also does body scans and chakra stuff, and just some really good, like, some of the things that I was going through, just knowing what your body and what your body might be deficient in terms of vitamins, or just understanding it could just change the dynamics of everything. I'm telling you, even my doctors, when they would see me, they were like, Western medicine don't know it all. They don't. So if you have to go back to the ancient time type of stuff, then do that. But I knew that I needed to get myself together, like, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, just everything from head to toe, rooter to the tutor, as some people would say, because I knew that this year, 2022, was going to be something extremely special. And thus far, it has been. 2022 has been a whirlwind. I mean, I started out having COVID. I got COVID, y'all. That was crazy. I got COVID right after Christmas, between Christmas and New Year, and myself and my son. My son doesn't even live home anymore. He was just home for the holidays, and he and I both got it. So we were quarantined through New Year's and everything. We ended up celebrating New Year's like 2 weeks into January, and even though I was vaccinated, I got real sick with it. you know, like I just couldn't shake it. It was all in my head. It was like, what is wrong? I didn't have energy. I couldn't focus. And it was just, I didn't have like a lot of symptoms in terms of like a cough and things like that. But it just felt like I had some stuffiness or something clogging my head. And I just could not understand what that was. And literally, my husband was like, I don't want you to come out that room until you are symptom free. And I'm like, where do they do that at? Because you know how you usually have the quarantine time, what, 10 days, 14 days, whatever, and or however many days. But he was like, nope, until you are completely done feeling just fine. Because I was like, I don't know when I'm going to feel fine. What if I never feel fine again? I can't stay in this room like forever. But I'm kind of glad that I did, because when I got out of it after those 3 weeks, I was feeling like 100. I actually felt better than I did before I had it. I don't know, maybe it shook something up in me. I don't know, but I actually felt better. I see Willie Rosado. Hello, welcome to the live. Glad to see you here. And so that was an interesting time. My son typically never gets sick, so for him to get it, that was something else. I almost know exactly when I got it. I went out Christmas Eve going shopping, and there was so many people out. And this lady that was in front of me in line, and I mean, I know you can get it anywhere. It doesn't have to be as obvious as this, but I remember she pulled her mask down and started coughing, and I'm thinking, oh, that sounds contagious. What in the world? But I don't know. I don't know where I got it from. I know I had it, and it really helped me reflect when I got out of it. Like I said, it was like green light. Everything just started to hit at the same time. New opportunities, new people reaching out to me that I never would have thought would have known who I was. Just a lot of great things were starting to happen, and I'm here for it. God knows how I have been preparing myself for this moment. I don't take it for granted, and I know that all I was doing was being obedient. We all have gifts and talents. Unfortunately, not everyone knows what their gifts and talents are, and a lot of times the people that I coach are people in their mid to late 50s, and they're in a part of their life when they can do what they want to do, but they just don't know what that is. They don't have to do what they had to do. They just want to do what they want, but they don't know what they want to do. They're not quite sure what gifts they have. They're not quite sure what they love to do, and they're trying to figure it out. Well, I feel so fortunate, so blessed to have figured it out. And I always knew that everything I was doing is going to lead me to the next thing. I was just talking to my new assistant today, and this evening actually, she's great. She's amazing, dynamic, and I was just so blown away that there's a big project that I'm working on, and I didn't know this when she started with me, that she has the perfect skills to do what I need to do for my project, to effectively assist with it. She has experience in it. And that came out yesterday just in a conversation. I mean, I knew what her previous experiences were, but to this extent, I didn't know. And when she was telling me, I was like, this is how God works. He knows what you need. And it's just a matter of trusting Him and really knowing that you're going to be all right. He's going to give you everything you need. And I want to tell all of you, that have commented on my video, my morning minutes this morning, and letting me know, like, just trust in God. Like, you got this. You're going to do well. And yeah, like all the great encouraging words and things that you were saying really inspired me to just know that this is going to happen and it's going to be great. But in the meantime, even though I know God has never forsaken me, He has never brought me to something and it failed. But even with that, I know I still have to practice. I still have to take action. He'll present it to you, but you can't just sit back and let it just happen naturally. You still have to take some kind of action. And so that's why I'm here. Like I said, I'm gonna do an hour every night. Y'all, I'm so tired. I want to go to sleep. Nikki Nichols, hello. I'm doing well. How are you? So Nikki and I, as well as with Vern's Junk Closet, if you don't know Nikki Nichols, she's dope. She's a great person to catch too. Um, her her Vern's Junk Closet and myself, we used to do a panel discussion on Sunday evenings about work from home opportunities. Remember that, Nikki? And we all had, different perspectives, different experiences with it, but we definitely gave our audience, we gave the people that were in our chat nuggets to take back with them. We gave them opportunities. We would talk about equipment that they needed, companies to look out for, just a lot of great nuggets. And I really enjoyed those Sunday lives. And we will also do them with Jessica Hicks is a good one too. She's a recruiter and she always gives some great business advice. For those of you that are going back into the workforce, she is a great person to catch. I want to tell you, there's a lot of great channels here on YouTube that are really supportive, that everyone is kind of like on the same page, and where they are. It's almost like the YouTube career. Where are you in the YouTube career? And like I said, my first tribe, they all well surpassed me. They all have like 3 to 7,000 subscribers. But the ones that I was following before, I found my tribes had millions of subscribers, and they just were not checking for me. But there's a couple that do, though. There's a couple that will respond, and I appreciate that. And that's why even in my morning minutes today, I was talking. No matter how big you are, don't forget the ones that are supporting you. The least you could do is heart a comment to let them know I did see it. I just can't really respond right now, but there's always those moments when you can get to the comments. It might not be right away, but you definitely can. It could be, I would say, within 24 hours. That's business. That's good business. You might call a company and you have to leave a message. They get rated on their response time. 24 to 48 hours response time. So if you are doing this as a business, why aren't you concerned about your response time? Your response time should be, you should have a standard for yourself. If I drop a video, I'm going to, definitely within 24 to 78 hours. Is it 78? It's not 78, but say 24 to 48 hours, 24 to 72 hours. That gives you 3 days. I'm going to check on all my comments and I am going to respond to them. Now, after those 72 hours, which is 3 days, caveat ventura, buyer beware. You might not get to it, but at least those first 3 days, I think, would should be, so it should be a standard. I think that should really be a standard for all YouTubers, big or small, to at least respond to the people that come to you at that point. Now, if you're huge, with 1 million subscribers and you're getting, 6-figure views on your videos and 10,000, 20,000 comments or whatever, maybe you should leave your standard to be 24 hours. But I try to get to all of mine. I mean, I don't get a lot of comments, so it's not like I'm saying all this now, but no, I know how this works. I've seen it on different levels personally as well. Maybe not on this platform, but in different areas of my life. And I know how people feel when they are recognized, or when they are um, just when they're recognized. People feel good. And that's the missing link for employers. They're not letting the employees know how much they are appreciated. And so that's where the disconnect is happening. And that's why they are having the silent resignation, where people are still at their job, they're still getting their paycheck, they're still getting their benefits, but they are not connected with the work. They're not really doing the work because they don't feel like anyone cares. I talked about a lot of different things in this live, and I apologize. Today I really just came on here to try to stick this hour out. Tomorrow I'll have it more targeted, and so that it will, have a better flow. But I am just trying to get my sea legs back and trying to build up my posture, trying to build up my endurance and strengthen and conditioning my mindset, so that Even though it's late here, I know where I'll be. It'll be daytime, it'll be the middle of the day, and I need to really, get myself together to know that it's 3:30 and not 7:30. That's so crazy. I can't believe I did that. But definitely know what time of day works best for you. Oh my goodness. So there was a YouTuber, Melissa B, that commented on one of my on my video this morning, or was it from yesterday? But she commented, and I appreciated her comment, where she was saying, kind of like as a small content, one small content created to the other, and she shared her journey, and how she was on YouTube, but she I guess she had two jobs, maybe a full time and a part time job. And once she quit her part time job for 2 months, she was just consistent on YouTube every single solitary day, and she became monetized. And I know consistency is definitely key. So for me, one of the things that I think holds me back from being as consistent is, before I didn't really know what time of day worked best for me. It just seems so obvious that it would be evening. I mean, most people come home, or they've been out and about all day, and then they come home in the evening and, oh, let me make a video. But for me, in the evening, it's not when I want to really make a video. I just want to relax. I love to read. I've been reading a lot more here lately. I don't really watch a lot of things on TV. I like to walk around outside. I like to be outdoors. Just, I'm not really in, and I don't really want to talk that much. But I've been capturing things that I've been walking around seeing. So that's one way of getting content. But in terms of delivering ideas and messages that I want to share with others, I found that the morning minutes has been working the best for me. And that's when I also realized that I am a morning person. So I would encourage anyone that's new, as a content creator, to realize and figure out what is your best time of the day. Is it the morning? Is it the afternoon? Is it the evening? Is it late at night, middle of the night? I mean, people are up all hours of the night, 24/7, because you're talking to people all around the world. So everyone is on different time frames, time zones. Even within the United States, people are in different time zones. There's some people that go live at 10 o'clock because it's only really 8 o'clock where they are, or 7 o'clock where they are, or 6 o'clock. But it just all depends. So what time works best for you? And I would say definitely stick to that, because that's very, very helpful when you are trying to be consistent. So one of the other reasons why I am going to be more consistent with my morning minutes is because I get people that tell me, that they really are enjoying it, and I appreciate that. Now, the connection rejection, that's not her name anymore. Her name now is um Table Talk with Cindy B. I don't know if this is your second channel or if that's your new name, but she's told me in a couple of videos that she appreciates my morning minutes. So when you receive comments of, confirmation in that way, it motivates you to do it more. And so I'm hopeful to be that type of person for you. If you are a content creator, go on your channel and let you know what I think about your videos, that I like this. This is cool. I like this. I know Nikki Nichols has been doing some really good vlogs as well. She's gone to some, small boutique-ish type stores, and, just really interesting things, really cool finds. Her husband, he fishes, and he has oh, I can't remember the name of his channel though, but oh, it's on the tip of my tongue. But yeah, he has a fishing channel, and so there's some really cool things out there. But I definitely recommend finding the right time of day that works for you. hmm One thought leads to another, and that's what keeps us interested in listening. Thank you, Table Talk with Cindy B. And oh, so I don't know if you remember, Cindy, I had asked you if you were familiar with um, Buy Me a Cup of Coffee. And that's actually kind of like a app, almost like, it's almost like Cash App in a way, where, people can go on and they can donate money to you, almost like for you to buy a cup of coffee. So it could be $1, $5, whatever. But since you drink coffee on your channel, I thought that would be really cute to, also have that as an offering. Buy me a cup of coffee. You drinking coffee. I love coffee for sure. And if anyone wants to buy me a cup of coffee, that's cool. But no, I'm good anyway. I've been making my own coffee because I'm trying to cut back on sugar. And that has been very successful so far. I'm excited about, the results of not drinking as much sugar. I do have a meeting with my health coach this week, I think. And I need to cancel it though. I have too much going on. I have a graduation. My daughter's graduating from college on Sunday. And whew, it's a lot going on for the next couple of months. And I'm just glad that I'm here for it, because I don't have to be. You just never know. Well, we're coming up on the hour, and I want to just again thank everyone who came and rocked with me, tuned in, and helped me to keep on the course. And this is my practice. I am practicing. I missed a lot of shots, but you know what? That just means that I know how to do better next time, and I will. I'll have, more of an outline for tomorrow. Today, I'm just trying to get my sea legs back. I haven't been in my chair in over a year to come here and talk to you. I am Coach Sherry. This channel, again, is workforce development, career readiness, entrepreneurship, real life, real issues, and real talk. And one day soon, I will go into what all those things actually are, because they are dynamic and they are all connected. So until we speak again, remember, practice so hard that when you play, because I'm practicing hard right now, getting my endurance up, so that when you play, when I play, when we play, we will always play to win. I see wellness with Frugal Mama. Enjoy. Thank you. Thank you. While you fold the clothes, right? Isn't that the best time to listen? Thank you. Thank you all again. Thank you to my new team members that came in here and joined the team recently. Thank you for those that have been rocking with me since day one. I appreciate you. So I will check you all out. I will have my morning minutes up tomorrow morning, and I hope you will tune in for that. Until we speak, like I said, take care.